Good afternoon, folks. Here is discussion aid for you today. Here we go. Countries are what it means that countries are now rethinking retirement systems. Why this is happening. Populations are aging fast. By 2050, there will be 52 people age 65 plus for every 100 working age adults, which puts huge pressure on pension systems that were designed decades ago when people didn't live as long and birth rates were higher. Governments basically have three choices: raise more money, pay out less, or redesign the whole system so it doesn't collapse later. And many are choosing that third option. What changes are countries making? Here are the big trends. One, raising retirement ages. People are living longer, so many countries are nudging retirement ages upward to keep systems solvent. Shifting from guaranteed pensions to investment based systems. Traditional pensions were the government guaranteed, government guarantees a set payout are expensive. So countries are moving toward defined contribution plans. You save, you invest, you bear more risk. Hybrid systems that mix guarantees with market based growth. Three, encouraging or requiring people to save more. Countries, some countries already mandate retirement savings, like Australia and the Netherlands. Others, like the US, are still mostly voluntary, which leaves many workers unprepared. Improving investment strategies, diversifying investments, seeing higher returns, adjusting risk levels to much longer lifespans, reforming employer based plans. Countries across North America, Europe, and Asia are updating rules for 401k style plans, auto enrollment, and employer contributions. Unleash What does this mean for regular people? Here's the real world impact. You may work longer. Retirement age retirement ages creeping up means more years in workforce. You'll likely need to save more on your own. Governments are now shifting responsibility from the state to individuals. Your retirement income may be less predictable. Investment based systems can grow more, but they also fluctuate. You might get more tools to help you save. Auto enrollment, employer matching, and tax incentives are becoming more common. Big picture. Countries aren't just tweaking the edges, they're rebuilding retirement systems for a world where people live longer, have fewer children, and change jobs more often. The goal is to keep pensions sustainable without overburdening younger workers. Compare how different countries' systems work. Break down what this means specifically for the U.S. Explain how these changes might affect someone your age or career stage. Here's a clear, page anchored explanation of the line. Other nations mandate retirement savings. The U.S. does not. Here's why it matters. Based primarily on the surrounding content of the article you're viewing. Core meaning of the line. The text is the text is highlighting a structural difference between the US retirement system and those of other advanced economies. Other countries require workers and employers to contribute to retirement. Savings, while the US leaves most of its voluntary. This voluntary approach creates coverage gaps, income instability, and long term risk for millions of Americans. The article's content explains exactly why this matters. US The US relies on voluntary savings, and that creates gaps. The US system depends heavily on voluntary 401k style plans where workers must choose to participate. This is explicitly stated in the article. The U.S. relies heavily on voluntary savings plans. Our 401k plans are voluntary. Workers typically must choose to opt in because participation is optional. Many workers never join a plan. Small employers often don't offer one. Savings levels vary widely. This is a major reason the US earned only a C plus in the Mercer CFA Institute Global Pension Index. Other countries require contributions and it strengthens their systems. Countries like the Netherlands and Australia mandate contributions into retirement accounts. These nations use mandatory contributions to expand participation and build stronger safety nets. The Netherlands, there's a mandatory contribution. You can't opt out of it, either as an employer or as an employee. Mandatory systems ensure nearly universal participation, build larger, more sustainable retirement savings pools, reduce the risk of poverty in old age. Why this is the Netherlands? Why this is the Netherlands consistently earns top scores in global rankings. Why the difference matters for Americans. The article makes the consequences clear. Coverage coverage a cover a coverage is the biggest weakness. Experts say the US could significantly improve its grade if it fixed coverage, the number of workers actually saving because the system is voluntary. Millions fall through the cracks. Voluntary systems create uncertainty. Defined contribution plans like 401ks depend on how much workers choose to save, investment performance, employer participation. This leaves the final outcome uncertain. Mandatory systems reduce risk. When contributions are required, savings accumulate steadily. Employers can't opt out. Workers don't have to navigate complex choices. This builds a more predictable and equitable retirement landscape. The article's bottom line: the U.S. system is considered solid, but carries significant risk if coverage gaps aren't addressed. Mandatory systems abroad avoid these risks by ensuring everyone participates. So the headline is essentially saying the U.S. leaves retirement savings up to individuals while other countries require it, and that difference shapes financial security, system stability, and long term outcomes. Okay, guys, that is A for you. I will be back on with B shortly. Give me a bit for that, please. And I'll be back on with that for you very shortly. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.